Welcome to Melbourne, Australia, and this apartment is for rent in the city centre, in the CBD as we call it, the Central Business District. It does come fully furnished, so it's called a studio. It's not a bad size, it's about what you'd expect for a typical entry-level studio apartment. They do come smaller for students, but this is in terms of people who work and maybe have a half-decent job. This would be your very much entry level. So this would be the cheapest option. You can see here, fully furnished. This is pretty much it. You get some sun there, as you can see. You do have to pay extra for the bills, a little bit extra just for the water, electricity, gas, and Wi-Fi if you want Wi-Fi. Looking from the other side here, you can see there is a bit of a kitchen. You can see you walk in there on the right-hand side. If you look at the ceiling there above the kitchen, you can see there's definitely a good air conditioning system as well. So it's not too bad. I mean, you get a little eating area there, you get a little place to sit down. You can't really entertain a great deal, but nonetheless, you can live here. You can move around here. Maybe a couple might be a bit cramped. You get the fridge, some eating areas, etc. You can see the floor there on the kitchen's a little bit narrow, but you do get a fair bit of cutting space on the bench and the refrigerator, microwave, and quite a bit of cupboard space as well. Here's the bathroom. Again, quite modern. Most apartments are modern in the city centre of Melbourne because most of the apartment blocks are fairly new. Most of them are built in the last 20 years. And you also get your own clothes washing machine there as well. So it pretty much has everything. Outside of the apartment, this building has a pool. And that's not super uncommon, but it's still pretty cool to have. You have a pool there, have a gymnasium as well. So if you do want to go to the gym, you know, the machines aren't amazing, obviously, in any apartment gym. However, it does save quite a bit. You'll probably need to pay around 80 Australian dollars a month for a basic gym membership. So it is a nice saver there. Here's the city centre. So you can see the red dot there. That's where this apartment is. It's on Spencer Street. And quite frankly, this is the cheap area of the city centre. On the far right of this screen is Swanston Street. You can't quite see it there. It's not actually a street, in that no cars are allowed. It's only for trams, but it's about a 15-minute walk from this apartment, and you'll be right next to Southern Cross train station, which is on the edge of Docklands there. So it's not a bad place. This is a typical building where it's going to be mainly for foreigners, mainly for renters. You probably get some Airbnbs in there, so it could get rowdy at times, but it's still not bad. It's still fairly close to most things, and if you're a traveller on a 12-month working visa or a short-term student, it's pretty typical accommodation. So here's the details. It's a studio apartment, so everything is in the one room. There's no separate bedroom and lounge room. The rent is $440 per week Australian. We quote the rents in weeks, but we pay them in months. So in months, it's 1,912 Australian. This is very typical for this kind of studio apartment. Fully furnished, got to pay the extra fairly small bills though. This equates to $1,270 per month. You also have to pay a deposit to the government, which is equal to 1 month's rent. So you'll need $2,500 to move in. As you noticed, there is a pool, gym, and a sauna as well. So if you're going to use this stuff, that's pretty cool. But of course, this will be both a high building. So in that part of the city on Spencer Street there, the buildings are often up to 60 levels. And then you're going to get a lot of apartments on one level, right? Because these aren't very big apartments, so there might be a queue to use some stuff. And it is the cheap end of the city. So the prices are a little bit lower, the rents are a little bit lower, the cost of living's just a little bit lower. If you go towards the right side of that map, closer to Swanston Street and Elizabeth Street, you might pay another 5 or 10% for the exact same thing. So you'll be on Spencer Street, which is next to Southern Cross train station. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope it makes you understand the cost of living in Melbourne, Australia. I have made quite a few more videos talking about these similar topics, so you may want to explore those to have a better understanding.